This video provides a deep dive into Tafseer Surah Al-Kahf, focusing on the parable of the two gardens, verses 32 to 45. We will explore a profound lesson on gratitude, arrogance, and the demise of worldly adornment. We begin with the bountiful estate, a divine parable that illustrates prosperity and the trial of wealth. Allah sets forth the example of two men. The disbelieving man was granted two lush gardens, surrounded by palms, with a river flowing through them, yielding all its produce without fail. Fueled by arrogance, the garden owner boasted to his companion, saying, "I am greater than you." He boasted of his wealth and superior manpower, highlighting the desire for worldly status that distracts from Allah. Unjust to his own soul, he entered his property and claimed, "I do not think this will ever perish." His weak faith blinded him, leading to the denial of the resurrection and the illusion of permanence due to worldly success. The believing companion rebutted him, recalling his origin from dust and a sperm drop. The believer attributed all existence and divinity solely to Allah, declaring absolute monotheism. The believer advised him on the formula for true gratitude. "If only you had said, upon entering your property, 'This is what Allah has willed. There is no power except with Allah.'" The believer warned of desolation, explaining that Allah could easily ruin the garden through a thunderbolt, turning the lush soil into slippery ground, or sinking the water beyond reach. Total ruin struck the garden owner, leading to bitter regret. He wrung his hands in sorrow and cried, "Alas, I wish I had never associated anyone with my Lord." His boasted manpower was helpless against the divine decree. This outcome illustrates the final sovereignty. The disbeliever is helpless and faces regret, while the believer is protected, aided by the Lord, and achieves a praiseworthy end. The parable further describes the worldly life cycle, which emerges with rain, reaches a peak of flourishing, and eventually meets its demise, turning into fragile and dry debris. Wealth and children are temporal adornments and a trial. In contrast, everlasting good deeds, like Subhanallah and Allahu Akbar, are better with your Lord in reward and hope. We conclude with a reflection on the verse, "For such a thing, let the workers work." Jazakallahu khairan for engaging with this profound lesson from Surah Al-Kahf.